Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, David here, and welcome back to another video. Now in this one, I want to focus on everything that's going on with Persona 5, the Phantom X at the moment. And if you have not kept up with the news and what's happening with the game and everything, I am here to recap why the community is very angry with how Sega is handling the global or the English version of Persona 5X, especially versus how it's being handled by the devs in China or Asian regions. There's a lot of crap. There is a lot of crap, honestly, and what I did before doing this video is I did a little bit of research. I was like, what the hell? The game is like mostly negative fan reviews on Steam, super low ratings on App Store and the Google Play Store as well. I'm like, when I played the game when it first launched, right, there's gacha elements. It's a gacha game, so fair, right? Some people are straight up not gonna like that. Can't blame you. That's fine. But I played the game and I was like, hey, if you're a Persona fan and you can live with not being able to progress as much as you'd like, if you don't spend money or you don't want to spend any type of money, well, you're gonna have, ads and stuff pushing you to buy money. If you can bear with that, there's a good game behind all of that, all that crap, I could say. For example, me not spending a dime in this game, I am having a lot of fun playing it casually. Now, I stopped playing because a lot of stuff came out, like Raido came out. I beat Raido and all that stuff. I was a little bit busy in the last few weeks as well, but I'm full on back. I play every day at the moment and I'm really enjoying the game. So I was like, hey, let me dig and try and understand what the hell's going on, because when I first reviewed the game, when I had the chance to preview it before it started, I was like very positive, and most people who were able to get over the gacha stuff seem to enjoy it as well. So what's going on? That's what we're gonna figure out today. I also wanted to wait for the latest news update for Persona 5 the Phantom X, which just wrapped up an hour before I am going live here with this video, because I wanted to see if Sega was going to address the huge controversy, because there is a ton of backlash for good reason, I'll be honest. So I do want to say, before I share with you guys the reasons why fans are mad, and before we go deep dive into that, I just want to do a little disclaimer quickly. Persona 5 the Phantom X is my first gacha game. I don't do gacha games normally, so I had to do a lot of research to understand specifically what fans are mad about. And again, I have not purchased anything in the game, right? I'm just doing my playthrough like with no money spending. If I can't progress, well, I'm done for the day. That's how I go. That's how I'm tackling things, and I try and earn. I try and earn what I need to earn to do polls, with the little cards and stuff. So let's get into it. What's going on? The first thing that I understand that people are mad about is that there is no guaranteed banner at launch, or at least there was no guaranteed banner at launch. Guaranteed banner, from my understanding, is after X number of pulls, you are guaranteed, for example, a 5-star character pull, which is, again, different for the global version than what they have here in other regions. Same thing for the soft pity system, which from my understanding is very rough here for us in the West. It's basically a system that allows you a minimum of certainty to earn a certain pull, to having to do like thousands of pulls for one specific thing, and you get just doubles of other personas, for example. And I was researching that specific thing. I was like, okay, that's important, right? A soft pity system, that is important in a gacha game. I quickly understood that while doing my research. I was like, at some point, fans were wondering if there was even a soft pity system in P5X for the global version, because of results that we were seeing online. People doing tons of pulls, spending tons of money, and not being able to get what they wanted. At some point, people were even talking like, hey, I don't think we have the same soft pity system in the global version that we have in other versions, which at this point, I doubt that. I think that would be very odd, but if that's the case, that's trash. That is a trash practice by the devs, so hope that's not the case. But from my understanding, there is a soft pity system. It's just not that great. Now, the main thing that I understand can be frustrating to some people. I even got frustrated when I was near the end of the first palace in Persona 5X, where you have to be level 30 for your protagonist to keep progressing with your main story. So, if you are in P5X, you want to gain experience, want to grind, you need to have a certain number of experience, and to do that you need certain materials that you cannot get if you cannot get infinitely and quickly if you don't purchase money. So it is kind of like a system that locking your progression to the main story if you play a lot. I didn't have that much issue with that myself because I don't have a lot of times to play games, so I play a little bit every single day, which means it works well for me. But if you are someone who's able to sit down and play 3-4 hours a day, you're gonna reach a certain point where you can't progress. So if you want to quickly progress, you don't want to have a slow ass grind. If you want to quickly progress, spend money. So they're kind of like playing on FOMO a little bit to get players to buy stamina, basically, in the game, to progress quicker, to reach the level cap that you need to reach to progress in the main story. So to me, this is a pillar, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm associating this type of stuff to Gacha more than P5X itself, but I might be wrong. If you guys play more Gacha games, please give me your input. Again, I am learning here. I'm evolving because I've never played any type of game like this before. So pop-up ads, I've read in Reddit threads people complaining about that. I didn't get that, or at least I see. Of course, I see a lot of ads when I click like shop. I'm immediately put in the page where I have to spend money, and I get that, but I don't get pop-ups other than like the notice when I log in. So I don't know if this is just me or if there's something I don't understand there, but this is something that a lot of people were bringing up, pop-up ads, which again didn't happen to me. So maybe you guys can clarify for me in the comment section. I would appreciate that. Otherwise, there's crap that is clearly very different for us than in other regions, and that is a huge bummer. For example, if you want to get beginner sales packs, it is way cheaper in other regions than it is for us in the West. Why? At this point, it should be, I'm aware of differences in currency, but it should reflect the same thing that they have in Asia for us in the Western servers as well. Chinese servers, they get new updates, and at each new updates, they get 10 limited character pulls in a 7-day logging event. For us, in Japan, we get 7 weapon pulls in a 7-day logging event instead of 10 character pulls. That sucks. That really sucks. I mean, this type of stuff frustrates people, and I understand that. And it's a real bummer to see that they just wrapped up the update and they're not fixing that, or they're not changing that for us. Like, how do you justify giving something very decent to people in China and to give people in the West the leftovers, basically? That sucks. And that's something that they could fix like this. I don't know why this decision went through. It doesn't make sense to me. And then there's also limited standard units that are no longer being put in the standard banner after the banner ends immediately. Again, one thing that they're doing again here is FOMO for y'all. They are wanting for you to put money in the game because it's limited. So you're gonna miss out if you don't buy it. It's not gonna be in the standard version of the banner. And clearly that wasn't the case initially. That was changed in an update because a lot of people are now complaining about that, saying it's no longer an issue. So big problems overall for P5X. Definitely understandable that a lot of people are quitting, and we're gonna look a little bit at the Steam reviews. And y'all, I have bad reviews. I am seeing a ton of bad reviews for this game, and they're still popping at the moment, of people who played like hundreds, 200s, 300 hours of that game, complaining about it, saying that they're quitting. That sucks. That is a massive problem. That's something that you don't want to see as the publisher. So I want to have a better understanding of the whole situation. So let's look again here at the Steam reviews for P5X and try and understand what's going on here. All right, so here we are here on my Steam page. So here, this first comment from Yellow I wanted to go over because I think it really summarizes the issues that we have. Western players are getting treated like trash compared to the original version. They're releasing characters even faster for us to attempt to catch up faster, but somehow giving us less currency to compensate for that rather than more. And that is something that I wanted to talk about. That's something that I think the devs are doing great, or at least the first part of what they're saying here. They're doing a decent job. Like, they're putting out a lot of content for us in the West because they want to catch up with the Asian version of the game, and they want to make sure that in the near future, every update that they get in Japan, we get at the same time here in the West, or Korea or Japan. But the fact that they're giving us less currency for that sucks. That's a problem. Here's just a few ways of how they've decided to shaft us. We got 100 gems for the patch, whereas China's always get 300. We've had 0 codes to redeem, yet to give more pulls like China gets. That is the one thing that I was talking about. Like, we get an event 7 weapon banner pulls, which again is cheaper than character pulls, and in China they get 10 main character pulls. That is a huge kick in the nuts. The new character Marion originally went to standard banner after her feature run ended, and we are not getting that. We're not, again, as I talked about that too, the limited banner, they moved to standard banner after the limited time is done here in China. That's not the case for us, so China also got a free copy of Marion and her weapon, which has been taken away from us too. Treat global players better. As for the actual game, absolute grindfest. Sega, listen, you need to stop messing around. You are speed running EOS. Your greed is bombing the game. Global will no doubt see some whales, some dolphins. People like me who don't want to spend but like the game enough. That number is depleting. For your sake, listen. And when they're saying that number is depleting, this is an interesting phrase here. That this person played 160 hours of the game. Their opinion matters. They're quitting the game, but they've been playing it for a lot of hours. They are the fans that you want to have on this game. The game has tons of players. Lots of people. It was like 5,000 concurrent players when I was playing it last night, very late. So I think we're getting a good idea here, but the main issues that we have that aren't part of just gacha games in general are we're not getting the same treatment in the West and for the global launch of the game that they are in the East, and that is always going to bother people, and that's fair. That's fair. You want to get the same treatment as other people, right? And I hate to see it. I want Sega to succeed with this game. I think there's a lot of potential for P5X, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But as certain people said, if you don't have players, you're going to have to do an end of service. You know, you're going to have to close the game, close the servers. And that they're putting a lot of work into it. They're talking about the future, long-term future of that game. They want to put it on consoles. They want it to be the next Honky Star Rail, you know? And they were on the right path, but apparently the first month went by and then it started to become very rough with updates, with what we're getting and what Asia isn't getting. I think a lot of people are making a lot of noise. If you want to make your voice heard, if you want things to change, I would address the situation to Sega. Continue reviewing the game on storefronts, whether it's Steam, Google Play Store, or the Apple Store. Go to social media. Stay respectful. Like insulting people or insulting employees, that's not going to solve anything. I think you're not better than what you're calling them if that's what you're doing. So I would stay respectful, but share your opinion and be transparent with that. Again, my opinion is this: I'm not spending money on it. I'm playing it very casually and I'm having a good time. But I understand that if you're 200 hours in, this type of stuff can be very problematic. And that's fair. Those are fair complaints. So this is what's going on here with the whole controversy, P5X and everything. Big mess if you ask me. But hey, let's hope that they make it work, and let's hope that it becomes better in the near future for sure. Thank you for watching, y'all. You have a good day regardless of everything's going on. Bye.